Right then guys, so today's video is about movable weights in the back of drivers. So I've just been fitted for the Titleist TSi3, which has a movable weight track in the back. Now the idea with this is to be able to just fine tune where you put the center of gravity of the club head to help you with increased ball speed, but also help you either control the shape of the shot a little bit better because of you lining the center of gravity up, but just generally based around hitting better drives. But what I'm always interested in, and I get asked this a lot in questions, is does the tech that's in the driver heads nowadays actually make any difference at all? Is it more down to the user? We'll wait and see. But if you're fairly consistent with your delivery, does it make any difference, or is it just a bit of a gimmick? Well, let's find out in today's video with the Titleist TSi3. Do those movable weights make any difference at all? Right, so let's put the TSi3 through its paces with the sliding weight on the back. So as a general rule, I would say my delivery of the club is fairly neutral. I know I swing a little bit from the inside, I hit up, so my swing path will be fairly straight. And I'm going to try and get the club face as straight as I can. Now, what we're saying is, having the weight moving around in the back, all it's actually doing is moving where the center of gravity of the club is. So at the moment, I've got the weight in the middle, neutral. I'm going to hit some shots, see what the flight's like. Then I'm going to move as far into the heel as I can, hit some shots. As far into the toe as I can, hit some shots. And we're going to see, does the strike, with the weight being different, change the shape of shot I hit? So very, very neutral. Wouldn't really expect to see too much shape from here. Right, so that's out the toe. So we would expect to see that one turn over from right to left. And what I'm looking at there is the spin axis, which is the amount of tilt on the golf ball. So when you hit one that far out the toe, even with good delivery, you are going to see a lot of shape from right to left. So let's go again. That felt pretty solid. Just a tiny bit towards the toe. Let that normalize with the wind off. And we can see there a very, very slight little fade. So not a huge amount of shape in there. So let's go again. Just one more with that nice neutral delivery. Again, just a tiny bit towards the toe. A little bit of tilt. So we can see there, when I get a little bit towards the toe, there's that tendency for it to draw. Now, as a general rule with me, if I don't have the weight neutral, I tend to move it a little bit towards the toe to try and line the CG up with my strike so I don't see as much shape. So I'm going to move that across now. And if everything works as should, I should now start to see, even if I get that little toe strike, the ball shouldn't shape quite as much. Now that one actually a little bit more out the toe. Because the CG's moved over though, we could see less tilt, therefore less shape. So, is moving the sliding weight helping? Definitely seemed to on that one. So again, a little bit toey, but certainly not shaping much. So, moving the weight towards the toe definitely seemed to help me. So if that's the theory then, maybe moving the weight towards the heel would see me draw the ball more, if everything else remains constant. So, I'll be honest, this is never how I would have driver set, but if you are somebody who tends to get the ball leaking out, this should, in theory, help you out a little bit. So it felt a good strike. definitely just turning over a touch. And we can see, even with that good centered strike there, still a little bit of a draw, tilt. Okay, let's go one more. That definitely felt a little bit more towards the toe. I think we're certainly seeing the ball shape a little bit more in the air. And we can see, again, that tilt to the left with that spin axis. So did I see a difference when I moved the weight around in the back of the driver? Yes, definitely in the spin axis I saw a little bit of a change. Now, does it make a big difference? For me, no. Still, the bigger difference is user error. So if you are somebody, and this isn't just the Titleist, this is any of the drivers with movable weights around the back, don't fall into the habit of thinking because you're somebody who slices the ball, simply moving a weight to a position that says draw will not make you draw the ball. It may aid you to reduce a little bit of shape, but it still becomes user error. But if you can be fairly consistent with your strike and your delivery, certainly just moving the weight around a little bit to line the CG up better can either help you get a little bit more ball speed with that same shape, or potentially give you more or less shape depending on where you move the weight. So do the movable weights make a difference? Yes. Is it a huge difference? No. But that is the key to getting fitted. Find out what your patterns are and have the driver set for what your natural tendency is, and then try not to tinker too much with the driver. So guys, hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, like it and share it. Comment below and I'll get back to as many people as I can. If you have enjoyed today's content and you don't currently subscribe, please consider clicking the button below. Ring the notification bell and then you'll find out whenever I drop a new video. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.